going on, guys? It's the Revolution back with another year and another episode of Revolution Roundup. Heading into week 2, I thought I'd start this year doing these videos early, and I'm excited to do them. So I put together something a little different this year. Some of you know I'm getting into physical therapy and kind of trying to get into that route. So I think it'd be fun to do some injury analysis just to start each video. Kind of go through some of the big injuries for that previous week and what I think that the timetables are for different players and kind of the injury in itself. So if any of you guys think that'd be interesting, just let me know. I'm going to start doing it today. So I'll kind of break down the injury a little bit, the more serious ones, and the unique ones I'll break down a little more than others. Yeah, but for now, let's get started with the video of the week here. So first, as you can see, we'll go through the injury analysis. So as you can see, Tyreek Hill. Yes, we all saw it on Sunday, him come down onto that shoulder. Initially, we thought it was a dislocation of the shoulder, and some people might still think that, but I'm going to kind of put it into a little bit more perspective here. So what the injury actually is, as you can see here, it's named the posterior sternoclavicular dislocation. So what that is it's not a dislocation of the shoulder, so to say, but it's actually a dislocation of the sternum and the clavicle. So you have the clavicle that runs from the sternum out to the acromion, which is actually just another name for the shoulder, the acromion there. And this is a pretty serious injury. So there's two types of this injury. So posterior, this is a posterior one, so meaning behind or towards the back. And then there could be an anterior sternoclavicular dislocation, which is actually not as bad as the one that Tyreek actually suffered here last week. So this one is just a dislocation of the sternum and the clavicle, like I said. So this one is more serious because it's obviously posterior, but it's actually going to be hitting it could possibly hit some of those vessels that are located inferiorly beneath, superficially to the sternum. So underneath the sternum or behind the sternum. And this is why he had to go to the hospital, because it could be very serious, and surprisingly, he doesn't have to get surgery, which is good. That's a good news thing for Tyreek Hill on this. So my timetable, I've seen some people say that he could be back in a couple weeks. I think it's going to be more like a month or so. I talked to one of the physical therapists at my work, and he said that it's probably looking like it'd be more than that, more than 4 weeks even. So I'm just going to say somewhere 4 weeks or above. So Marcus, hopefully he's more on the 4-week side for you, but we'll see. And we'll just go from there, and maybe get some more info as time goes on. And then we got Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon suffered a high ankle sprain. These are pretty common, especially in the NFL. So really what it is just a sprain superiorly above the joint line. So it's just spraining of the ligaments that are located on the ankle. So, usually it's 2 to 4 weeks. So that's what I have here. That's kind of, it depends on the person, obviously, but that's kind of what we're looking at here with Joe Mixon. I think it'll be somewhere from 2 to 4 weeks, but we'll see. Darius Geis, this one's a little different. This one is a little bit more concerning to me because obviously his injury history, we know it, had ACL reconstruction surgery last year on his left, I believe. I don't know. I know this meniscal injury is on the opposite knee, which I guess is good news. It's the opposite knee, but still a little concerning. So really what the meniscus is you have bone on bone, and then in between that is cartilage between those bones, and that's where the meniscus. So, it causes your knee to be able to turn and cut. Whenever you make cuts, it turns whenever your knee or whenever your foot is flat on the ground, so you can turn your knee. So obviously meniscus is important in any sport or any activity, but I think at least 3 weeks at the very bare minimum for Darius Geis. That's kind of what I've been seeing too, 2 to 4 weeks, but it could be even longer than that. So I put 3+ here, but we'll see. As time goes on, we'll get some more information on him. Tevin Coleman, another high ankle sprain, kind of just like Joe Mixon here. Reports are saying he'll be out for multiple weeks, so I have 2 to 4 weeks here as a timetable. Like I said, it's just the ligaments, the sprain of the ligaments, high ankle above the joint line there. Juju Smith, As we saw Sunday night, down big by 30 points to the Pats, he's still in the game, and then you see him kind of linger off the field with something. I think initially we thought it was an ankle, but it actually turns out it is a toe injury. Fortunately, I don't think it's turf toe. I don't think there's any sprain of the ligaments in the toe, because out of Pittsburgh, they're saying that he should be good to go this week, and they're not really too concerned about it. So no concern there for Juju, as of right now anyways. Probably won't practice this week. Nick Foles, clavicle fracture, broken clavicle, whatever you want to call it. He's out for the season, unfortunately. As I mentioned earlier, this is different from Tyreek's because it's actually just broken on the clavicle rather than dislocated from the sternum. Unfortunate for him. Had to throw it on the touchdown, unfortunately. Came down on it and broke the clavicle. So, yeah, that's all I had for the injuries this week. Just wanted to go through them really quick, not take too much time, but not nerd out too much, but that's about all I had there. All right, so the next portion, we're just going to head to Week 1 outcomes. So, as you can see here, all the games we had: Gloom, Takedown, Kansas City Chiefs, 96-64. As I pull it up here, obviously Tom Brady went off. Wow. This just in, Antonio Brown is a raper. There you have it. Hashtag analysis. So there you go. Just got report. Wow. Multiple reports of Antonio Brown sexual assault. Oh. All right. We'll discuss that later then. We'll just go on with the Week 1 outcomes here. Le'Veon Bell had a good game. Comeback season for him. Looked great. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he'll be okay. Let's go on to the next game here. Decleters and Tetmo. Oof. This was a real ball buster for Marcus this week. Taking the L in a tie. Dave gets the W here with the bench. Both teams had a pretty good week. I mean, when you put up 70 in this league, it's you have a pretty good week. So, unfortunate for Marcus. Derrick Henry went off, and Mark Ingram, his running backs went off last week, and if they can keep that up, then it looks like they'll have a good season. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I mentioned earlier, Tyreek Hill out for multiple weeks with the clavicle. All right, let's move to the next game here. Myself taking on Justin King. Put up 100. That was the goal going into Sunday night. Not really. My goal was just to win. But then, as we saw, Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins putting up a good number for me there with a good some hookups for me. Jameis kind of screwed Justin this week. And his wide receivers did as well, putting up zeros from Diggs and Evans. That kind of screwed him as well. Christian McCaffrey popping off, looking like the true number 1 pick that he is. Just getting all the touches there, obviously. Just a stud, just a pure stud. Kyle putting up 91 last week. Solid week to start. Keenan Allen helping out there. And then Philly Rivers coming in clutch with him as well. And we got Papa and Rapist. Rapist did his thing and put up 85 against Papa. His running backs went off, I do believe. David Johnson, I know, scored a receiving touchdown. Dalvin Cook popped off, and Damian Williams, his running backs, really lit it up. And then so that's elevated him to a W. As we move forward to this week in these matchups, these are my pick'ems for Week 2. We got Gloom, Burt going against Decleters. 75-67. As you can look down the list here, got myself beating the Chiefs. And then we got our chefs. We got McCaffrey beating Tetmo. And the game of the week for me, we got Justin edging out a victory over Papa, and then Anthony beating Threat Level Midnight here to cap it off. All right, guys. I wanted to get through this quick. Still working on some homework right now, just trying to take some time and just take a little break and get through some injuries and stuff like that just for fun. Hope you guys liked the video, and I'm going to do one again next week. Let me know how you like the injury portion of it. I'll go hopefully have a little more time on my hands next week, and we'll go from there, and hopefully it'll get better and better each week. So there you go, guys. Good luck in Week 2, and have a good one, except for you, Casey.